guys, and welcome back to your favorite channel of your favorite chubby buddy. So, we yet have another happy customer. He had just left with his jet ski or watercraft or whatever you want to call it. We had somebody that wanted to create a dispute, so I'll keep it professional. You call it whatever you want, I'll call it what I want. I call it a jet ski. I call this a jet ski. It's a personal watercraft. The terminology jet ski came from Kawasaki. Doesn't matter if you're standing up or if you're sitting down or if you're on top of your head or sitting backwards. It does not matter. A PWC. Personal watercraft. The name jet ski inherited by the creators of personal watercrafts. So now we got that topic under control. Let's forget about it. It's irrelevant. It's not anything of importance. So let's be professional and just enjoy the show. So, the brother of the customer had mentioned that his brother was having trouble with starting this jet ski. And so, upon investigation, the motor appears to be seized. Not all cases could this be a very bad situation. So what we first do is we start at the top and work our way down. So if we look at that spark plug, that would tell me we have a good possibility the motor may be okay. Over to the next plug. Looks to be it may be okay. So now we're going to go further to try to figure out why the motor will not turn over. A wrench was already tried by the customer, and so now it's left in my possession to figure out the source of the problem. So this can go one way or the other. Try to repair while it's in there, less work, and may be able to get it to go, or it may need a rebuild, and at that point the motor might as well come out. What makes more sense is I can upgrade them to a 717 motor and do a rebuild and make this little one go faster. This is the 580. So we can go a little faster. But let's try to go minimal damage as possible. We're going to dive into this motor, see what it needs, and see what it's going to take to get it freed up. I have a 95 to 98 success rate of freeing up a motor. And one of my proofs here is this guy over here. You can see how terrible and ugly this thing is. See there? I make it run. The motor runs. The motor was seized, and I fixed it. Just like my motor on my 305. It was seized. Got it up and running. And I'll show you again how to do that. So let's stop the chitter chatter and let's dig in and see what she's got going on here, and let's see if we can get a prognosis. So I can tell you, I'll be right back. You may not hear me too well because I got the fan going. It's a little toasty out here, so I'm going to explain. So when you look in here, you see them cylinder jugs, they look pretty decent in there. So you would think that it's the propeller shaft seized up. Wrong. Way to verify that is, put your pipe wrench on that flywheel. Get a long pipe, put on it, turn to the driver's side, left side. Remember, left to loose, right to tight. If you're turning it all the way, it should break loose. If that breaks loose and it spins around, I mean, it's going to take some effort because it's probably been on there for a good amount of time. But if you're going to keep trying to push it and it breaks loose, then it's not your propeller shaft. It's the pistons or somewhere in the engine has seized up. So at this moment, we're making success. We got probably about almost a half turn back and forth. So what I need to do is keep lubricating it, heating it up, and give it a couple love taps and encouragement using a block of wood and a hammer, and just tap down on the pistons. You can only tap down on one piston. Follow it which direction you're going, and follow that piston which way it's going. If it's going down, that's the one you can only hit with a block of wood and a hammer. Rotate back the other way, you'll see that one go up, and you'll see the other one going down. So you just work it back and forth, and then you'll have success. It's back-breaking work, but the overall, in the end, payday is worth doing it. So once you can get good rotations out of it, I'll get you to that stage, and then I'll show you. So we'll do it in stages. Right now, the motor's going back and forth about a half a turn, so it's making me work for it. So hang tight, I'll be back. Alright guys, so let's watch the magic here. See here? Just using the pipe wrench. Some oil, some heat. Oh, I gotta tighten the pipe wrench up. There we go. So now we're going to hook it up to battery power only, and we'll just let that do some battery cycling. So what I like to call is making me a little mini campfire. I'll step away from this fan so you can hear me. So you can use a propane torch, okay, and because of the angle you're pointing it down in, it wants to keep blowing it out. So what I do is I make a little campfire. I get the piston to where it's sealed off the best that I can. I may even take a piece of tin foil or one of them disposable tin foil trays, and I'll crease it down inside the cylinder so gas can't get past the piston. And because what'll happen, you allow gas to get down below that, and you go to torch that, it may do some damage to the crank or internals. So I let oil get down in the piston first. I let it set. I walk away from it. And then if that trick don't seem to work, I grab Metal Rescue and I pour it all in there and let it set. And I don't fill it up, just the cylinders. And I'll let that work at the rust. You can use a hammer and a block of wood so you don't damage the piston. Because you put a hairline crack in it, that's it. As soon as you start it up, it's done. You done wasted a good motor. So, let the oil go in. This is the first stage. Let the oil get in. Let it soak the piston rings. Let it get in there. Then leave it there, get a disposable baking tray, and push it down in the cylinder and trace it around so it's closest to the piston as possible. Then what you want to do is you put a I don't know, say maybe 2.5 ounces of fuel. Light a piece of paper. Be careful, don't blow yourself up. Light a piece of paper. To slow down the burning process of the paper, twist it in the middle so that way when the flame gets to it, it don't come up to your hand. Leave it long enough, about a foot long, where you can reach over, touch it with it, and it sets it on fire. Keep an eye on it and keep your face away from it. The heat from that should work into everything, and as that happens, the oil is going to drain down across the piston rings, and because it causes shrinkage, it'll get in there, and then it'll be fine. You do the same thing to the other one. When you get that done, while everything's still toasty, get yourself a pipe wrench, put it on that flywheel, work it back and forth, and be patient with it. Don't be asshole and asinine and I want to hurry up and get this done in 2 seconds. It ain't gonna happen. I've been at this for about the first, I would say 2 hours is all it took. And that's what I say about my success rate about getting the motor unstuck, okay, where it's not seized. So now I'm ready for the next process, which is throw a battery only. The cylinder jugs is bolted down, so you ain't got to worry about it jumping off like a four-wheeler does. So what you want to do is take the battery, hook it up to it, keep the battery charger on it so it keeps the surface charged so you don't trash your new battery. And then wait until it's up to 13 volts. Then go ahead and cycle it. Get that? What I mean by that is you're making the pistons go up and down. And now it should clear itself way to where it'd be easy to turn by hand. And then you can put the cylinder head back together, new seals, whatever, bolt it down to torque, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So hang tight, I'll be right back. Alright, here we go. Going with the truth. Do I know what I'm doing or not? Sounds good to me. So now I can just put this bad boy back together. I'm going to wipe the pistons off, and we'll see what happens. Next stage is we'll go for a startup.